Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about Indiana Jones 5, the movie that nobody wants. Nobody actually wants this movie, except for bean counters at Disney, I think.
Yeah.
Spielberg doesn't want it. Steven Spielberg is out as director. And even the friendly media, the shill media, sites like Forbes are saying, why the hell are we doing this?
Why is he out?
Well, we're going to read about that.
Okay, because I don't even know.
He just doesn't want to do it.
Is that what it is?
He just doesn't want to do it.
Yeah. It wasn't creative differences? That's what I was thinking.
I'm sure it is creative differences, but I think he's like, no, Disney, this is a really stupid idea. We don't need another Indiana Jones movie.
No.
And he doesn't want to do it without George Lucas, probably. So we'll talk about this cluster that is Indiana Jones 5, the search for more money.
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess. Indiana Jones and the last cash grab.
Yeah.
That's what this is. All right, so before we get into it, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants. We're at almost 100,000 subs. Thank you, everybody, for that.
Woo!
Yay!
You sound so thrilled. You're just like, yay!
Well, I'm actually having flashbacks to Crystal Skull. And I'm like, I remember how excited we were for Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. And we went to go see it. We're like, oh, that was a thing.
Yeah, that's like me coming out of The Force Awakens.
That was a thing. That was a thing that happened. And I'm like, my God, don't make any more Indiana Jones movies. And sure enough, Disney, they can't leave it alone. They announced it.
Just do it.
Oh my God. Are they going to get Shia LaBeouf in this one? That would be that. Because that was the plan. I think that was the original plan, was they were going to cast Shia LaBeouf as Indy Jr. and have him take over. Mm-hmm. Because they knew Harrison Ford was getting up there, but Shia LaBeouf went crazy.
He went somewhere.
And his career went down the toilet. His career sank like the Jungle Cruise boat. And so that was the end of Shia LaBeouf. So now we're digging up Harrison Ford. I guess they figure...
Jungle Cruise is the new Indiana Jones.
I think the Jungle Cruise could be the new Indiana Jones, yeah.
Well, I think that's what they're thinking. No, we have to make money on this. Go ahead.
Yeah, so we were supposed to get Indiana Jones last year. We're supposed to get it this year. They announced it in 2016, 2017. They announced a delay, and it was supposed to be David Koepp was supposed to write it. Nobody knows what the hell is going on with this movie, and now Spielberg is out. So we have no George Lucas and no Steven Spielberg, and Harrison Ford is almost 80 years old.
Yeah.
Does anybody really want this movie? Do we really have to make this movie?
Geriatric Jones.
Geriatric Jones.
I mean, we're heading ourselves. We can't say anything. I mean,
no, we're not.
We have a ways to go. But
we have a long ways to go. What are you talking about? we're over 30 now, so we're damn near older. Retirement age. So yeah, after a long development process, Spielberg is handing the directing reins on Indiana Jones 5 to another filmmaker. They said a deal hasn't closed, but they think it's the Ford versus Ferrari guy.
Yeah, okay.
So he's been put in a position when he took over Wolverine. Logan was a blockbuster. Yeah, he did Logan.
Yeah.
So that's going to be... Oh my God, are they going to is this how they're going to kill Indiana Jones? They're going to be make it really dark and gritty and he's going to...
Well, they're probably going to have to kill him because,
Well, no, because in the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, if I remember correctly, Indiana Jones lived to a very, very old age, and he had an eye patch. So they have to poke his eye out. He'll shoot his eye out.
That's assuming they're not just going to put it in the way of the expanded universe of Star Wars,
Just forget it ever happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Spielberg is going to be hands-on as a producer. According to a source, the decision to leave the director's chair was entirely Spielberg's in a desire to pass along Indy's whip to a new generation.
That sounds weird. I mean, it could be. It could be, but he's just like...
No.
Or it's like, you're going to drag this out again, I'm done. I'm too old for this shit.
I think that's it. I honestly think, because this will be the first Indiana Jones movie under Disney, I think Spielberg doesn't want to deal with Disney. I think he's like, screw this.
Yeah.
I'm not even...
he saw what happened with Star Wars. He's like, nope, not happening.
Yeah, he saw... Because, look, Spielberg and George Lucas are pretty good friends. They're pretty good friends. And I'm sure they're sitting down having coffee, talking about the Mouse House. And George is probably like, they're white slavers, man. They're white slavers. You don't want to go work for them.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm so distracted by the fact that there's a blog called Hey You Guys.
There is a blog called
I love that. Hey You Guys.
Oh, that'll be the next thing they dig up.
Oh, no. They've been talking.
Oh, my God. We don't need another Goonies.
They've already been saying that's what they're going to do. So.
Yeah. So this is. Wait. What? Spielberg is going to be doing West Side Story.
Yes, I did know that.
Oh my God. Okay.
That's just later this year. I was surprised when they had posters come out for this year. West Side Story was on the list, and I was like, wait, they're doing West Side Story again? Why? She's going to pass Indiana Jones to to go do West Side Story.
That is, you know where his priorities are or aren't at this point.
What happened that he's going to pass on this to go do West Side Story?
When a West Side Story remake looks better to you, better to Steven Spielberg than Indiana Jones, which he helped co-create, the end is near.
Back in the day when, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas were out there creating things, making amazing things like, Star Wars, E.T., Close Encounters, Indiana Jones, and, the creators in quotes today can just rehash the old stuff and, it's a remake, it's a reboot.
This is a bad idea. I don't think this movie should exist. I don't think they should do it. And a lot of other people said that they don't think they should do it, including the friendly media. Not so friendly media anymore. Scott Mendelson has turned heel. He is anti-Disney now. Ever since the rise of Skywalker, somebody pissed in Scott Mendelson's Cheerios.
Something happened.
Because he does not like anything Disney's doing now. And we get all the way down to this. He's talking about how even Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, I forgot what a long name that was. I just call it Crystal Skull.
Wow, was that long ago? 12 years?
12 years ago.
I was trying to sit here and think how long was it, and I'm thinking, it's what, 10? No,
yeah.
12. My goodness.
12 years ago. Because I remember we had to find a babysitter for Squid King. He was very little.
That's
right.
right.
To see it. But yeah, 790 million worldwide. That was before that $1 billion was common. So it actually made a lot of money. But I mean, even then, everybody was making remarks about how old Harrison Ford was. He was actually older than Sean Connery was when he was playing his dad.
Yeah, but here's the thing, that's what happens as time marches on.
No.
And I actually was looking at the pictures of him and Indiana Jones when he was younger, and then I saw the picture of him now, and I'm like, I feel so bad because it's like, it just makes me sad because it's like you keep losing people that we grew up with, and he's getting up there, and it just makes me worried and. It just makes me sad.
We're all worried. Well, he almost died in a plane crash. So he survived that because he's Indiana freaking Jones and Han Solo. Maybe a little Launchpad McQuack too.
Launchpad McQuack.
But anyway, I think what's going on. I mean, speaking of which, you're talking about him getting up there. I think what they're doing, and this sounds very morbid, but I get the vibe they're like
trying to wrap them all up.
Yeah, let's get Harrison Ford in for one last Indiana Jones. We had him in for one last Star Wars. There anything else? We had him in Blade Runner. They put him in another Blade Runner movie. I mean, they're basically like, it's almost like the final lap. He's taking like a one last final lap around all of the movie franchises he's known for, and he's wrapping it all up because they're like, we're not going to have Harrison Ford for a whole lot longer, unfortunately.
That just makes you sad, so stop talking.
I know, but I'm just saying, they're like, we better get Harrison Ford while we can get him.
Okay, stop. Let's just go back to the point of Steven Spielberg. You're making me sad.
Okay, so what is an Indiana Jones movie without Steven Spielberg in the director's seat and George Lucas involved in any capacity? The answer is not that different than what is Star Wars without George Lucas.
Oh, now you say that.
Now they're beginning to get it.
Oh, how the tables have tabled. Anyway, continue.
How the tables have tabled.
Yes. Never mind. Sorry.
Have you been drinking?
No.
You should be drinking.
I'm just really tired.
This movie is going to make me drink. I thought they couldn't top...
It doesn't take much to make you drink.
I thought they couldn't top Indiana Jones and Aliens.
That one was weird. I'm sorry.
I want to see Indiana Jones. Well, I was going to say Ghosts, but I guess they had Ghosts in Raiders of the Lost Ark. So both are once-defining cinematic franchises, original properties that were continued past their natural endpoints. Scott Mendelson, how dare you? How very dare you?
Oh no, but it's funny because before that, when it was like The Last Jedi.
Oh, this is a great growth of the franchise. This is so great. And then the Rise of Skywalker comes out. Wow, this is dog shit, Disney. Everything's dog shit now. That check didn't clear, and I'm not getting any more checks because Bob Chapek's in charge. No, I don't know. But yeah, Scott definitely did a heel turn. Now it exists as just another piece of fan fiction-y IP in the Disney empire.
Oh, you mean like all the other movies of Star Wars that you have, like, he's white knighted for until The Rise of Skywalker?
If Indiana Jones is a period piece adventure epic starring that guy from Star Wars, directed by the man who helmed Jaws, and produced by the father of Star Wars, removing two of those elements renders it much less unique alongside today's ongoing properties and would-be franchises. Let these franchises die. Well, I hate to say it,
they've been dragging it out for so long. I mean, are they going to turn around now and now they have new people on here and be like, you know what? We're not even going to use Harrison Ford.
Yeah, well, that was what a lot of people were talking about. At one point, people were like, well, maybe they could just recast it. And people have talked about that. Why don't they Why don't they just, reboot Indiana Jones? I don't want to see an Indiana Jones reboot.
No.
I don't. They tried
Make something new.
Well, okay, I don't know if they would do it anyway. You know what? They might have actually been thinking that, but then they saw how disastrous Solo was. Like, you can't replace Harrison Ford in a role that he's known for.
Well, he wasn't that bad. Solo wasn't that bad, honestly. It was the victim of the perfect storm of bullshit because of The Last Jedi. But he wasn't Harrison Ford.
No, and nobody's going to be Harrison. I mean, the closest you probably could get, maybe possibly somebody like Chris Pratt or something, maybe
People have mentioned him.
But he's too jokey. I think
so too.
I
don't know.
I don't think that would work.
Well, it's better than Shia LaBeouf.
It's better than Shia LaBeouf. Like, what were they even thinking? Shia LaBeouf is going to carry the franchise. Shia LaBeouf. And somebody was on Twitter the other day talking about how, like, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull just doesn't get enough love. And I'm sitting there thinking, they're like showing a couple of scenes, like the motorcycle through the library scene. I'm like, yeah, okay, there were a couple individual good scenes, but I'm remembering
refrigerator,
the nuke in the fridge, and I'm also remembering Shia LaBeouf swinging like George of the freaking Jungle, Tarzan style, through the jungle.
Well, you shouldn't, it's like that with the women in fridges. This is the archaeologists in fridges. You shouldn't fridge your archaeologists.
Oh my God, they'll put Marion in the fridge and then they'll nuke it. They got Karen Allen in the last, they wrapped it up.
Yeah,
they got married.
Well, they think they were setting it up that it could be Shia LaBeouf taking over, but thank God that did not happen.
Just stop making.
Go make new things.
The thing is Indiana Jones 2, it was also kind of, for these guys, this is, we talked about before, like, why do we keep rehashing better movies or better eras? It's because, these guys grew up in the, 40s and 50s, and they were basically making movies about, like, pulp fiction they read, things they were inspired by when they were kids and teenagers. Indiana Jones was a result of serials they saw back in the 30s and all the pulp fiction, stuff like that. You can't replicate that because the filmmakers today didn't grow up in that same era.
I'm sorry, I'm just thinking of alternatives to Indiana Jones. Like, I think that's Pennsylvania Brown.
Pennsylvania Brown?
I don't know. California
Sounds like a drug dealer or a pole dancer.
California Smith. Florida Man. No, I'm sorry.
Kentucky Coochie.
I was thinking,
Florida Man.
I was thinking of really common last names, and I was like, what are some other really common last names? I don't even know. I'm too busy laughing at myself because I'm tired.
And you haven't even been drinking.
It doesn't matter. If I get tired, it's the exact same as if I was drinking. Anyway.
They were drinking when they came up with this. Like, this is just a bullshit. They don't need to make this movie. Nobody,
okay,
Steven
so what's going on? So he's not doing it, but and I heard it was going to be, for the writer, it was John Kasdan. Is that what they were saying?
Yeah, okay, so let's revisit a potential disaster, okay? John Kasdan, who wrote most of Solo. Again, Solo was better than we expected it to be. It sure as hell was a lot better than The Last Jedi. Mm-hmm. But, again, we're like, oh, it's another Harrison Ford movie. Let's get that Kasdan kid to come in and do that.
Yeah, and then he's supposed to be working on the Willow, the new Willow, which we don't know is or isn't a thing. They put a picture up saying it was, and then other people said, well, it isn't completely. It's in it's like in progress. It's nothing's done yet.
That is everything on Disney Plus at this
point. Stop announcing things until you're actually going to flip and do it. There's a thought.
You know what I think is going on? The reason that Disney keeps announcing all this stuff for Disney Plus is to, one, to piss on it, and two, to make it, make the investors happy with Bob Iger. Like, wow, he really is getting his money's worth. We're going to have Indiana Jones movies from now until the end of time and Star Wars from now until the end of time. Here, Bob, have some more money. Go buy whatever you want. Bob. And it didn't work out very well, did it?
No.
So this is look, I'm telling you the truth. If I were in charge, I'd be like, no, we don't need any more Indiana Jones movies. Those movies exist in a certain time period.
I know, it does make me sad. I would love to see a really, really good Indiana Jones movie again, just because, I do miss it. But I just don't see how you can do it without Harrison Ford. And I honestly don't think it'll work now with Harrison Ford. They should have done this like 20 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, even, Crystal Skull, they had Spielberg and Lucas, and it still was a shit show. Mm-hmm. It's like, you can't replicate a lot of these movies. It just doesn't work. Now, the only time I will give them it did work for Blade Runner.
I didn't see it.
Blade Runner 2049 was shockingly good. I expected that to be a complete crap. And the guy who did Blade Runner 2049 is the guy doing Dune. So I'm actually excited about Dune. But, you know, don't touch indie.
Well, you shouldn't be touching indie. That's permission anyway. That's assault. But just, you know, yeah. Oh my gosh, the Last Crusade was in '89. Oh, I feel so old.
I remember going to the theater to see that one. I wasn't allowed to go to the theater to go see Temple of Doom because I was too young, and there were monkey brains. Spoiler.
Oh, I thought The Heart was worse than the monkey brains is pretty bad.
No, my friend went to go see it, and I mean I was really young, and I remember it's like I went to go see it, and they're eating bugs, and there's snakes, and there's monkey brains, and it's so weird. I was so freaked out. And that was the same year that Gremlins came out.
Yeah, but yet you went to see Transformers, and then
that was a couple years later. And Transformers,
no one saw that coming.
Transformers, yeah, I know Transformers the movie. That was okay. As much as Star Wars defined a generation, I think for 80s and 90s kids, I think Transformers the movie defined a lot of boys of that generation because they literally.
Sexist.
Well, it was mostly.
I'm just kidding.
Because they literally killed off the entire effing toy line. Like, it would be like going to watch a Pokemon movie and having somebody pop a cap in Ash's ass on screen in the first 5 minutes of the movie, and then they introduce somebody else.
And then they bring him back in the show as a zombie.
As a zombie. They bring him back as a freaking zombie.
People are like, what's this have to do with Indiana Jones?
Indiana Jones is a zombie franchise.
I'm trying to figure out, okay, see, this is his idea. We're doing this video, and I'm still trying to get to where the point is and what he's trying to get across.
The point is that nobody wants this damn movie, but they're insistent on making it. And even the critics are like turning out like, what the hell are you doing?
And I'm just sitting here all sad that Harrison Ford's getting up there, and you know, I'm dreading the fact that, you know, we're not going to have any more Indiana Jones. And they shouldn't, because it's not going to work with anybody else. I really wish there was a way to work, though, because it would be really awesome to have Indiana Jones back as like amazing more new movies, but I just don't see how.
Scott Mendelson's talking about how, you know, in the last, you know, decade or so, Disney has basically become an IP factory.
That's what we've been saying.
Yeah, they're not doing new franchises. He would rather see movies like Tomorrowland, see them take chances again. Tomorrowland was half of a good movie.
Yes, Tomorrowland started out so great, and then it just went to crap.
It did. It was half of a good movie. Like the first half of that movie, I'm like, damn it, I am on board with this. Great big beautiful tomorrow. We got retro futurism. This is cool. And then whoa, went all like Mad Max and hopeless. And I'm not into this anymore. But I get why they
Rise of Skywalker. He said, I'm
if
sure...
the marketplace justifies it, yeah.
Anyway.
But he's like, basically, Disney's not taking any chances anymore. They're going to take less chances.
Saying this.
Look, Scott Mendelson is saying everything that YouTubers have been saying for the last 2 years. And he probably gets paid more than most of them to say this.
I don't know if he does.
Well, he probably doesn't. Anyway.
I doubt it.
But, yeah, it's just... It's just that, yeah, he says...
It's sad now.
It is sad.
Like, I'm really sad. Like, we talked about Star Wars the other day, and how everything's changing, and it made me sad. And now we're talking about Indiana Jones, and now I just want to sit here and cry about Indiana Jones now. I mean, I'm also very tired, but it's like, it just breaks my heart, because we get older, we're losing so much. And we're obviously lost creativity, 20 years ago, 15 years ago, and then... And I would love to see Indiana Jones again, but I just don't think it's going to work, and that makes me sadder somehow. It's going to be
like Zombie Optimus Prime. Yeah, he's back, but he's not the same.
No.
It's not going to... And even Mendelson's like, it's, there's no Steven Spielberg, there's no George Lucas. It's just another nostalgia-driven franchise for Disney.
But we're going to they're old. We're going to start losing Steven Spielberg and George Lucas and that, and next, 10, 20 years.
But when Steven Spielberg would rather work on freaking West Side Story than something he helped make.
Maybe he wants a challenge to his career because it's so far removed from what he usually does.
Why couldn't he do Cats?
Because he's smart.
No, they were working on Cats, Amblin Animation.
Oh yeah, that would have been amazing. That's not. No, I thought you meant the one they just did.
No.
I was like, no, the other one, yes.
If they worked on a 2D animated Cats and Steven Spielberg and Don Bluth were involved.
Well, it sounds like he's been wanting to do these musical type things for a while.
Well, he's rich. He can do whatever he wants to do. He's rich. He's getting older. He's like, yeah, I'm going to just do whatever. I would actually like to see them take the soundtrack, the audio from the Cats movie and just scrap all the live action and just redo it with animation. See what happens. See if it's actually a better movie.
Yeah, but that's going to cost a lot of money, and they're not going to spend it. They've already lost enough.
Yeah, they've already. That ship has sailed. But there could have been an amazing. Look it up. Google it. Steven Spielberg, I think it was Don Bluth, Amblin Entertainment. They were going to do an animated version of Cats back in the 90s. 2D animation. Probably wouldn't have made much more money than the one that just bombed at the box office, but it would have looked a hell of a lot better.
It would look fabulous while failing. So
it would have looked fabulous.
If you're going to fail, do it with fabulously.
I don't think. I think this movie might fail fabulously. I don't know.
I don't think there's going to be fabulous about it. But
I think it's going to be. Yeah. I am not looking forward to it. Steven Spielberg's like, I'm out. I'm out. Personally, I don't give a shit after the last one.
I'm just sad.
I'm sorry. I mean,
Star Wars 2. I'm just sad.
We need to have a.
Now I'm sad.
I just want to see them. I mean, I think Hollywood is going to be forced to come up with new ideas because that's all that's going to keep them alive.
There's so many ideas out there already. They can go find all kinds of new ideas and bring people on board and, give other people a chance. And they just don't do it. At least Crunchyroll did it. I'll give them that. I mean, you might not like what they're doing, but at least they're trying to find new things.
Yeah, they're going to have to. You cannot rely on the same franchise, especially after they've been zombified, past their expiration date. You've killed them. I mean, how can you kill Star Wars? I didn't think it was possible to kill Star Wars, but Disney did it.
Oh, I didn't think it was possible either. Just slap Star Wars on it. You don't even have to do any promotion or marketing. They're just going to show up. There's going to be so many people. And then they opened it and it was like, what happened?
Yeah. So we're going to wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, and we will talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, thanks for watching Clownfish TV. Please consider supporting the channel. Go to clownfishsupport.com. That's clownfishsupport.com. And if you want to join our community, go to clownfishtalk.com. That's clownfishtalk.com. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. We will talk to you next time.